Hey guys, Wes here again, and this video is going to be kind of a feeding tutorial on how to feed water snakes. This water snake right here is a hypomelanistic banded water snake, and this is a wild-caught snake that I found on the side of the road, and I figured I'd take him home and keep him for a little while. And as you'll notice, he's in my bathtub actually, and he's in a Tupperware container, and I filled it with about a dozen goldfish. And this is my favorite way to feed these snakes because I don't like to feed these snakes in their enclosure. I don't want them to associate anything in their enclosure with food. It makes it much easier to handle them, and so when he comes out and he's in this Tupperware, he knows that this is where he gets fed and this is where food comes from. And it's actually quite entertaining to watch him eat. In the wild, they'll kind of corner the small fish down by the shallows and use their body to keep them from swimming away. If you notice actually, as he's catching the fish, right after he swallows them, you can actually see the fish traveling down his esophagus and into his belly. And he's a very, very good hunter. Being a wild-caught snake, this snake has had plenty of practice in the wild, catching and being around live fish. I also do feed him frogs occasionally. I'll feed him tadpoles when we get tadpoles. And he's not too capable to eat toads, unlike the garter snakes, which I've mentioned have fangs for popping toads. These guys kind of struggle with them a little bit, and fish are the best option. Fish are generally maybe 12 to 20 cents down at a local pet shop. They sell them, they're called feeder comets, sometimes they call them goldfish, and they're, for about maybe $2 or $3 a week, you can feed them a pretty good meal. This doesn't only cost me about $3. And that's pretty inexpensive considering the price of rodents when you're feeding a snake that has to eat rodents or will only accept rodents. And they're a very good snake if you aren't a fan of that. They do normally only want to eat live food. The food has to be moving to get a sensory response. They don't have heat pits, and they will not sense the heat from the animal. But if you don't want to deal with mice, or if you're a kid who has parents who don't like mice, it's a really good first snake. They don't like to be handled too much, but they're not generally very bitey. The females sometimes when they get large can have a bit of an attitude to them, but this one calmed down pretty easily. It bit me the second I picked it up, but actually hasn't bitten me or struck at me a single time since then. He's almost about done here. He's got maybe 3 or 4 more to go, and I just like watching him move. I figured I'd post this video because I find it really entertaining. Again, these snakes are non-venomous, so they can't envenomate their prey. They don't kill it with any venom, and they're non-constrictors, so they don't constrict their prey. In fact, they actually consume their prey live. And because of that, they eat things that are pretty small, only about the size of their head, because they can't immobilize it in time to get it down. I have seen these, however, consume large catfish and bluegill and things that are very, very tricky. The good thing is they don't have the prey, the fish that they're eating, don't have any hands, so they can't really get away. Catfish are hard because they have spines sometimes, and bluegill are kind of flat, so they provide a bit of an architectural challenge. But they'll eat just about anything. He's down to, he's down to the final one now. And just really, really beautiful snake. I've kept many of these snakes. I normally keep them only for a few months. I don't like to desensitize them too much to the wild, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a glimpse to, what it's like to feed a water snake. And as you can see, he's not really happy in this water bowl, and he wants to go find a hide so he can digest. But this has been my banded water snake video. Take care.